And then how'd you get involved with the Jackass guys?
Johnny Knoxville just hit me up on Instagram one day. He had been following me for a while after.
Did you shit on him too in the DM?
No, I almost couldn't believe it was real at first. And I think he followed me after one of my jokes went viral. And he noticed that I have a lot of Jackass style humor, and he thought I would be a good fit to join the family.
He's very astute.
Yeah.
That boy created this whole thing. People don't appreciate that. How's he doing? Is he okay? Last time I saw him, he'd just been kicked in the head by a bull, and he scared the hell out of me.
He's doing okay. He's hanging in there.
Good.
Yeah.
And you said before the mics heated up, I was talking about how quickly your career has gone along, and you said, "Oh, now I'm in the most painful part." What do you mean by that?
Well, I think it's all relative. I am 7 years in, and I got thrown into headlining, which is I'm very grateful for the opportunities. Don't get me wrong, but someone 7 years in, very rarely are they headlining. And I just, I'm out there. I feel like underdeveloped, and
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the imposter effect. Here it is in full bloom.
I want to give
but there's a reality piece. You have to hone your skill.
Right. Know? And so I put a lot of pressure on myself, and that comes from, my parents are very successful. And so
of course, you're from Vegas.
Yes, born and raised.
But all this stuff, the early, ADD and the dysregulation stuff, suggests trauma. Was it just abandonment because your parents were workaholics?
Yeah, that's mainly what it is. And I had a lot of babysitters, so I was being tossed around to different. I would get close to adults, and then they would leave.
Do anything to you?
Not that nothing like physical, but there was some neglect, and I had a very particular bad babysitter who would just send us to our room without food and leave us there, and that was pretty traumatizing, and her reactions were very intense. She used to paint these little porcelain masks, and I remember one day she gave me one to paint, but I didn't do it properly, and I was very young, and she smashed it on the ground right in front of me. Yeah. So it's things like that stay with you as a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, you're getting better now.
Yeah.
You've turned it into this very creative outlet.
And you know what? My parents, as much as I've grown, they've grown up with me, and our relationship is so much better now that we're adults and can kind of process what we all went through.
What did they do that took you away? Took them away from you?
My parents were lawyers. They were criminal defense attorneys.
Yeah, I was going to say it had to be doctors, lawyers.
And then
because it's just in our DNA.
They became politicians.
Oh,
so yeah,
worse yet. Mm-hmm. Oh, this must be great for their political career. Having you out there on Jackass and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's definitely helped. No, they're very proud of me. So,
good.
Yeah.
And just before we go to calls, I was talking about my friend Steve-O, who. Oh, by the way, we're 4K now, everybody. Andy wanted me to point that out. We're 4K. 4K. I forgot to put that out. Made a note of that. Thank you, gentlemen in the booth, for laughing along.
You got it.
And by the way, in the booth, can we cut to the booth? Yeah, there you guys are. So in the back there is Tanner now, right? Is Tanner in that seat? Yeah, Tanner's the new Zolo. You guys are going to destroy this young man, right? You're gonna just like you did Zolo. You're gonna just ruin another life, and me. You did it to me too. So why not get another young male in there?
No, he's a super lucky intern, and he's actually kind of already ruined. He came in ruined,
pre-ruined,
pre-ruined. Yeah. Yep.
Good. What ruined him? Pray tell.
Just living life.
We'll get to know. Where are you from, Tanner?
San Clemente, California.
Oh. Where Chad goes deep. Do you know those guys?
I love those guys.
Yeah. So Chad, his dad, I think, lives down there. His mom lives down there, so he's down there a lot. And I was actually in their Netflix series.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And I've been a fan of. I've discovered those guys early. Well, actually, I think Stern got them going first, and I ran right after them after that.
They're so funny,
and they are brilliant in ways that they're so brilliant you don't know how brilliant they are. That's the real deal, right? And they're the guys, just who you don't know, go to just the Instagram of Chad Goes Deep, and I think he's on Twitter as that too. And these are the guys get up in the city councils all over the country and talk about raging and
fight for their right to party kind of things.
Tanning their taints.
Yes,
and,
very important things, but for your mental health, of course.
Oh my goodness! All right, so Tanner, I'm sorry about San Clemente, and but did you go to college at all? Are you still college age now? Or what's
I went to Boise State for a bit.
what a weird thing from San Clemente.
Yeah, it didn't turn out too well. So
What happened?
became a DJ, partied too much.
I'm
no.
smelling substances. I'm selling
Just a couple substances here and there. Yeah, and then I went to welding school.
welding school.
Yeah.
God, odd. This morning I just saw a giant billboard that said, "Become a welder, $60,000 a year." I'm like, wow, man, if you could get like 2 jobs as a welder, that'd be an incredible career.
Right?
So welding school, do you still do that?
No.
Oh.
I like my body. I want to be able to move when I'm 50.
Oh, you have to kind of
Yeah.
crouch into corners and stuff and fall off beams.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, welcome. Nevertheless, if I don't know where you are in all your mental health things, but I'm not sure this is going to be good for you. But I hope it is. and he's already planning. Well, no, I won't. Here we go. We'll see what happens. Last thing, my buddy Steve, I was going to tell you, and you were saying how you admire him, which you should. He's a really, his recovery is brilliant, I would call it.
Yeah.
And it's what we call a full recovery, like complete recovery. And he, I used to bug him when he was really bad in his illness. And and he'd always say to me, he'd go, get the fuck out of here or shut up. And he goes, when I decide it's time to get well, I will go all the way. You don't have to worry about it. I'm like, in the meantime, he was like planning to kill himself. And I don't know if you know his whole they really got bad. The nitrous really took him down into a manic place where he was going to ride a motorcycle off a building. And we were all like, holy shit. And actually, I called, Johnny called me. He goes, what are we going to do? I go, well, you've tied this dude up 1,000,000 times. Do it now. Throw him in the car. Take him to the hospital. No, and I've given that advice 1,000,000 times. He did it, and it saved his life.
And he's now an inspiration to other people who want to get sober.
And or deal with any mental health issue. But he did exactly what he said he would do. From the day he walked through the door, he just dedicated himself. And there wasn't a straight line to success in terms of how his recovery went, but he was as good as his word. It was time to get well.
Balls to the wall.
Balls to the wall, just committed. And now when he does the Jackass stunts, I actually get a little upset because I can see he has feelings about it now.
Right.
I can see the fear. He didn't used to have fear. He was loaded. And so I get upset on his behalf. So